John, there's a few guys that fall under this category, but you're starting to get Boone Jenner back offensively. It's been a little while now. It's not different a player he is now with the puck or going after the puck than he was for a while.
It's been a good line. It's been a good line. I can't overstate how important that play was just to get us tied. I thought it was a really good effort by Thomas in the neutral zone just to get a chip into the end zone. It's a great second and third effort by Jens. Huge play in the game to get back even before they attempt to, or maybe score another one. They scored another one, you never know where it goes.
John, we talked before the game, just with Seth not being in the lineup, everyone has to kind of step up and do a little bit more. Nutivaara normally wouldn't probably be on the power play tonight. He scores. Murray plays pretty good. Yep. Just the idea of the depth that you got at the trade deadline and how it helps you tonight.
Yeah, and you go back to the deadline when you're bringing in Ian Cole and the minutes that he's logging, and Nudie's healthy. Nudie to me looks like he believes he belongs here, where last year he just kind of followed and kind of treaded water. He still played well through an injury. But I think he's trying to take control of his game. I thought he played really well tonight. Murr played well, had a huge block in the first period. So you're always looking for those guys as you go through a season, and we've got some other guys waiting that are good players also.
You guys have won 7 straight, and I know you wanted to talk about getting on a roll, feeling good, all that. But none of these games have come easy. It doesn't seem like. Can that be beneficial to this team to win these games that are close and not easy?
It's another one-goal game. I think we've played over 30, there's 32 or so. I think that's our 21st one-goal win. Yeah, so you hope they start feeling. I thought it was the most comfortable we looked protecting a lead in the third period. I don't think we gave much. Bob made a great save. Stick hand save there towards the end of the third period. I thought we checked really well. I thought we sucked the first period, quite honestly. But we gathered ourselves, and I thought we played really well throughout the rest of the game, and I thought our third period was good.
Had 16 block shots tonight. Alexander Wenberg had 2 of them. Sitting on the bench with blood gushing out of his nose.
He's okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But those moments, how do they galvanize a team like this at this time of year?
Yeah, well, you can hear it on the bench. You know, Murr has a block. Savvy had a couple of blocks. I think Winnie had a couple. That brings in that type of camaraderie as you're winding it down the regular season here, trying to find a way in. Those things help. It just helps the tightness of the room. And when he's blocked some big shots this year, he's done a lot of shot blocking, and it's good that he gets banged up a little bit. So it's a great block.
John, you've talked about the process with several different players as the season's been a struggle for a number of guys. Boone does stuff that keeps himself in the lineup even if he's not scoring. What has it been like with you and with him this season, just with his confidence? Have you seen it wane at all? Has his game gotten better, or is he just getting bounces now that weren't there?
I think of all the guys that have had struggles, and we've had a few, I don't think I've spoken to him many times this season about it, about his game. I trust him. I think he evaluates his game the proper way. I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He has a big year last year. He's behind the 8 ball as a big man, a guy that really has to work at his skating. To miss camp and to have that injury before camp, we knew it was going to take him a while. We didn't think it was going to take this long, but I think out of all of them, I think he's handled it the best because I think he just internalizes. He doesn't say much and just tries to be better. And he's a tough guy to take out of the lineup no matter how bad he's playing, just because he's an effort guy. And I think people respect him. I think his teammates respect him. Those things come into decision-making in those type of situations as far as what do you do to your room if you take a Boone Jenner out. So, yeah, I think he's handled himself really well, and I'm very pleased for him, but more for the team that he's beginning to find his game.
John, you've up until trade deadline anywhere, wherever you want to mark the point, you had to try to push a lot of buttons at different times this year. Push, get something going, try something different. Are you in a different stage now since the deadline in that you have some guys going now that weren't? There's much more depth to
Yeah.
both up front and back, and there's guys pushing each other. Is this a different job for you right now?
Yes, yeah, it is. And it's come a little bit earlier. Well, I shouldn't say early, because I always look at it, I think there's a lot of times through that 40, 50 games of a season that you're pushing players, you're hugging players, you're kicking players, you're trying to help them with confidence, you're trying to teach them that just there's a lot of different things. That isn't good enough. At the deadline, I had a meeting with the team, gave them the depth chart as a group, as far as where everybody sits right now, and I told them I'm not going to do too much explaining as far as who's in, who's out. I'm not going to try to help you do this. I'm not going to give you a chance to find your game. That was all explained. And they have, we're opening the door right now, because I do think our team feels comfortable. I think they're confident. I think the lines, especially after tonight, I thought Nick's line came alive a little bit tonight. That was beginning to waver a little bit, but we don't want to overcoach it. If they're taking care of the room and they're taking care of the business on the ice and they're playing, we'll leave them alone. So yeah, I call it coaching them and then being with them. We're with them now as a coaching staff. We're just trying to help them and push them through the gate and allow them to play.
You've mentioned a couple times you've thought that Savvy's looked rejuvenated, invigorated, whatever you want to say. Is it more than just the communication with Cole? We talked about a lot. What are you seeing?
He's just playing better. Yeah, I'm not going to give all the credit to Colsey for Savvy's play. Right. I think they're a good pair. I think they're very comfortable with one another. That helps. I think they protect one another and read off of one another very well, very similar to the way Jack and Savvy used to play. But I think Savvy has just played better, and we know what he is. We know how good a player and how good a shutdown guy. He had a couple of great blocks tonight. So I think he's one of those guys that is finding his game at the right time. Guys, we needed, how many times do we talk as a group and we talk about we just need to get on a little bit of a run. And just guys just feel better. They like coming to the rink and they just feel better. They are not the rough and tough guys that you think they are. They have mental problems when things aren't going well. And they may be too hard on themselves. They just don't feel good about it. I think when it's a group that's contributing here now, I think everybody feels good about themselves. So to answer the question back there, that's why they're just playing now. So I hope it continues, but I'm not going to guarantee it for the next 10 because things change in the National Hockey League. We just got to try to stay on top of ourselves. Thanks. Okay, thank you.